Can the Kyrie and Luka duo work? Um, Obviously, we saw some few games that they played before the All Star break. I think they had some monster games. Both one game that I vividly remember, they had both players scored 30 plus. So that's what you're expecting from the caliber guys of like a Kyrie and Luka. You're expecting that. So you know, I definitely feel like it can work, and it's shown it's working. They just got to continue building the chemistry amongst each other. Obviously there was a game where it was the last couple seconds, and they kind of had some conflict in terms of who was going to get the ball for the last play. They kind of was playing hot potato with the ball, but that's a chemistry thing when they're able to build some build some chemistry, build some camaraderie amongst each other, build trust. I think they'll have it figured out. Um, to me, either or can get the ball. You know what I mean? And then I think it was great that they, even though the things didn't quite work out the way they had wanted it, in terms of obviously getting a shot off the win, but to me it showed like they both believed that they either or between the two of them could be they could take that game ending shot. So that's a good sign to me. They you know that's great players. The question obviously, well, not even obviously, but the question to me, as for me, would just be the fact of how you know they're both ball dominant players between Kyrie and Luca. So the question is going to be for me, who is gonna of the two is gonna play the more ball dominant role. To me personally, I think Luca should be more of the ball dominant playmaker between the two. Um, Kyrie's also obviously great. They're both great, but for me, I think Lucas has more of that he's very similar in play of like a LeBron. He can facilitate and pass and play make. And I think he'll be better off setting up Kyrie than Kyrie would be setting up Luca. And I think Kyrie, although yes, he can play, make, and pass and stuff, I think he has more of that score mentality, and he has more of like a natural scoring mentality. And so um, I'm really, I think you know, I think that's kind of how they're going to move with Luca being more of the ball dominant of the two, and Kyrie playing off the ball and being more of the scorer and playing on the ball at times. And so I think that's how they're going to probably move. I think that'd be the best way for them to move. Um, and they're going to be a hell of a dynamic duo and outing for guys night in night out in the playoffs. I think for me, the thing with the Dallas, right now, they lack depth on the team. Obviously they're top heavy with Kyrie and Luca, but in terms of depth, I don't think they're too heavy. When you're talking about coming off the bench, um, they got Christian Wood, who's a good player. He can probably be their likely be their third option in terms of scoring. Uh, Tim Hardaway Jr., who's a nice, shooter and scorer at times. But like I said, I don't think in terms of their depth, their bench, they got guys off the bench that can really come in and have be a cushion for the starting guys. So I think that's going to be a challenge for them when you're talking about postseason. You know, my expectation personally, I think they can win a series. You know, I think they're definitely capable of winning a series. I think they likely get to the second round. Um, I think they overachieve. You know, I think it's a big achievement if they make it to the Western Conference. That would be major to me because I don't necessarily expect them necessarily to make, but second round to Western Conference, I think would be my expectation for them this season moving forward. It would be a overachievement for sure to make the NBA Finals, but I think that would have to be a matter of Luka and Kyrie just going super off, like we've never seen before, like them just going berserk in the playoffs. And it can happen given the type of caliber kind of guys that they are. Like they could do that, you know. So, but my expectation, me personally, I think second round Western Conference, you know, as a, you know, I think that's their, you know, with the time, I think that's where they likely will be at. So yeah, and you know, do I think long term? Now I do believe likely, you know, because Kyrie, I think was, you know, it was a lot of reports of him wanting to go to LA Lakers and, you know, get a long contract deal and play with Bron and AD, you know. So I do think, I really do think that he'll likely end up this offseason going to LA Lakers, signing with them, and getting that long-term contract deal that he's been wanting. I think personally that's likely what he does, but we'll see. You know, it'll be interesting. You know, he may stay with Dallas, and you know they build around with what they got with Luka and him. But I do think likely he'll in the offseason go to LA Lakers, and I think that as of for like right now type of thing, like next year, next 2 years, that would be the most. That would be a good window in terms of winning the championship. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like a 1 year, 2 year kind of window. You know, I think if he stays with Dallas, I think he's really thinking long term. I think he's thinking maybe 5 years plus down the line if he decides to stay in Dallas. That's what I'm thinking. So, but yeah, we'll see how things turn out. We'll see how things play out.